Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. First, we'll tell you whether Punjab is facing devastation because of heavy rains. The monsoon is causing torrential downpours, and even though Lahore city remains comparatively better, mainly because it's the centre of attention for the administration, and naturally, its infrastructure is better compared to other cities. Other cities in Punjab are in a very bad state. We'll give you detailed updates on this. Baloch women have once again arrived in the capital to protest regarding missing persons, and we'll tell you what happened with them there. Also, there's been another incident of unrest in Balochistan. In Kalat, a passenger bus came under gunfire. We'll talk about that too. PTI has also made some important decisions, and there is a scheduled meeting with Imran Khan today. We'll tell you which key figure is going to meet Imran Khan. Lastly, there's another piece of news that a journalist broke today. It's quite strange and once again raises questions about the kind of decisions being made by the people around Imran Khan. Their sincerity is being questioned by many, so all of these developments are quite astonishing. Anyway, let's get into the details. We request you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's first talk about the destruction caused by the rains. It's raining heavily all across Punjab, and more rain is forecasted until July 17th. The pattern continues off and on. Sometimes it's intense, other times it's light drizzling, sometimes it pauses, and then it resumes again. You could say it's a continuous spell of rain in various phases. In Lahore, in many areas, water accumulates, but after a few hours, the administration mobilizes and manages to drain it out to some extent. However, the situation in other cities of Punjab is quite severe. According to the information available so far, nearly 35 people have lost their lives in various incidents due to the rains. These are different types of accidents: roofs collapsing, mud houses caving in, and unfortunately electrocutions as well. Overall, around 35 fatalities have been reported so far due to rain-related incidents, along with many injuries. And the financial losses are another issue altogether. Among the most frightening footage today is from Mandi Bahaudin, where the entire market is almost submerged, with water reaching up to the knees or even higher. It's a very painful situation there. Similarly, in Gujarat, there is excessive water on various roads and main streets, even entering people's homes. The situation is quite bad there as well. Reports from Chakwal show water entering homes and flooding streets and alleys. Because the focus is always on Lahore, other cities in Punjab are often in a very distressing state. Roads in Lahore are made, then dug up again and rebuilt. It's an ongoing cycle. But other cities are severely neglected. Even when attention is given to other cities, improvements are only noticeable in cities like Rawalpindi. The smaller towns remain ignored. This has been the trend in almost every government, not just the current one. Smaller cities are consistently overlooked. Unfortunately, Gujranwala is also reporting similar complaints of water accumulation in many areas, and residents are extremely troubled. One frightening clip from Lahore shows a citizen riding a motorcycle along the road, unaware that an open manhole was hidden beneath floodwater. The manhole wasn't visible at all due to the water level. The man and his motorcycle fell into it, and he completely disappeared from view. Thankfully, people nearby quickly came to his rescue and saved him with great difficulty. This is the terrifying situation in Lahore due to the rain. May Allah keep everyone safe. Some people are trying to defend this by sharing a food video from New York, saying, "Look how it's raining heavily there too," and yet people aren't criticizing their administration. People there understand that excessive rain brings such problems, but here's the thing. First, the rainfall in New York was an extremely rare event, reportedly breaking 20 to 22-year records. It was very unusual and caused floods in many areas. Yes, the rain here is also more than normal, but it's not to the extent that you'd say a 100-year record has been broken like in New York. Secondly, as I said earlier, natural disasters like rains, floods, storms and earthquakes are beyond human control, even with all the technology and progress we have. So they should be accepted as such. Constant criticism isn't fair either. However, criticism increases when governments indulge in self-promotion, portraying themselves as miracle workers through advertisements and PR campaigns. When you claim undue credit, you should also be prepared for backlash. People start criticizing you because you're trying to gain credit where it's not due. People here are out wearing boots, making TikToks to show how bad the situation is, and then that content is used to highlight administrative failures. Also, different political parties rule different provinces, so everyone is trying to bring the other down through criticism. This entire spectrum is totally different here. Moving on, another tragic incident occurred in Kalat, Balochistan. A passenger bus was fired upon once again. Reports indicate that between 3 to 5 people were killed and several others were injured. Once again, this raises many questions. Same kinds of incidents, same lack of accountability. It seems no one cares. People are being targeted at will. It's also been reported that among the victims were Kawals, Sufi musicians, and their companions. One of the Kawals gave a video statement saying, "What was our fault? Why were our companions shot at?" It must be acknowledged that law and order in Balochistan, especially in some specific areas, is in a very dire state. In political news today, the movement Tahrik Tahafuz-e Pakistan, or the Movement to Protect the Constitution of Pakistan, held a small gathering followed by a press conference. The event was attended by Mustafa Nawaz Khokar, Mahmood Khan Achakzai, Allama Nasir Abbas and other leaders of the movement. They have formed a platform, but frankly it doesn't seem very effective so far. They gather once every couple of months, hold a meeting or two, and then vanish again. Initially they held a couple of rallies, but didn't maintain momentum. PTI is also part of this movement, but whether it's because they're focused on their own issues or otherwise, they haven't made this platform effective either. Now, they've tried to give it an organizational structure by appointing a president, vice president, secretary, and so on. But the question remains, is creating a structure enough? Have they formed a real strategy for protests or future plans? They did say they will protest, but when, how, and in what form, none of that was shared with the media today. I also want to mention that I saw a statement from Shahid Kakanabasi a day or two ago. He said, if PTI calls for protests only for Imran Khan's release, no one will support them. But if they talk about other broader issues, then everyone can come together. It seemed very strange to me. When you talk about the Tahrik Tahafuz-e Pakistan, or the movement for the protection of the Constitution of Pakistan, what does it really mean? Doesn't it mean restoring the Constitution in its true spirit? So, when you're talking about that, it automatically brings into the conversation all the current problems this country is facing. Election rigging, the 26th Amendment regarding the judiciary, violations of basic human rights, suppression of freedom of expression, all these issues. Now, what is the common thread connecting all of these things? Why was the 26th Amendment passed? Why were elections rigged? Why was the media silenced? The answer to all of this is one, to stop Imran Khan and his party. All these arrangements were made specifically to block him. So when you say you're standing against all of this, but not for the release of Imran Khan, it's very shocking, because he's the very reason the system had to go to such lengths. If he weren't in jail, if he had made a deal, if he had given up, then there would be no need for this movement at all. The main pillar of this movement is the person who is currently in Adiala jail. Without including him in your demands, how can you say you're addressing the rest of these issues? Yes, one could argue that if everything else is fixed, his release will follow automatically. But it's because of his resistance and refusal to compromise that the system has been exposed to this extent. Let's see how much power and resistance these parties actually show. But the true resistance right now seems to be coming from the Baloch women, who are continuously protesting for the recovery of their missing loved ones. They hold sit-ins, demonstrations that go on for days. Even today, many women have come, although their main leader, Baloch, is in jail, and other prominent members are not present. Still, some of them have arrived in Islamabad and staged a protest sit-in outside the National Press Club. These are different women. One searching for her son, another for her husband, a young girl looking for her father. It's a deeply painful situation, and given the ongoing rains in Islamabad, these women are sitting in the rain with no shelter provided by the administration. They've come peacefully, unarmed, not causing any damage, just sitting silently on the side. The least the authorities could do was provide them with some basic facilities, at least some cover from the rain. I remembered how, during Imran Khan's tenure, when Maulana Fazlur Rahman staged a sit-in in similar weather, Imran Khan had ordered that their protesters be given shelter and refreshments. That's a matter of personal character. Even during Khan's government, the PDM was formed. They marched, they protested, even though it was during COVID when gatherings were being discouraged. Yet no such harsh actions were taken against unarmed PTI workers like the ones we see today. Anyway, we always tell you this side of the story. Back to these women, sitting under the open sky, no one listening to them. Today, Mahmood Khan Achakzai and other leaders of the Tahrik Tahafuz-e Pakistan visited them. They spoke with the women, encouraged them, expressed solidarity, and tried to convince them to temporarily call off their protest due to the bad weather. Their lawyer, Imran Mazari, also joined, among others. For now, these women appear to be staying in Islamabad. Now let's move on to some political news. Thursdays are normally designated for meetings with Imran Khan, but often no meetings take place. Yet another list has been made for visitors with various names. One interesting name is senior journalist Athar Kazmi. Many of you know him, I like him too. Athar Kazmi tried to get his name included to gain access to meet Imran Khan. Last Thursday we saw journalist Alina Shigri attempt the same. She accepted the challenge after Khawaja Asif said the media doesn't even try to meet him. She completed all formalities, arrived there, but after hours of waiting, was sent back without the meeting. Athar Kazmi is following the same process today. There's little hope that the meeting will happen, but it's good that journalists are at least trying to expose the system. Later, no one can say the media didn't even make the effort. This way, someone can report firsthand what conditions Imran Khan is in, what his stance is, because he has the right to have his voice heard. So we send our best wishes to Athar Kazmi, though chances of a meeting seem slim. PTI's parliamentary party also held a session today where they discussed protests and Senate tickets. The list of Senate nominees that Barrister Saif issued immediately after meeting Imran Khan has now been finalised by the current PTI leadership. Mirza Afridi's name is on it. There was a lot of back and forth over this today. Even Irfan Salim, PTI's Peshawar president, who worked his way up from the grassroots, was on the initial list, but he appears to have been dropped. Supporters held protests demanding Irfan Salim get the ticket instead of Mirza Afridi. Despite reservations, it seems Mirza Afridi's name remains, and he will likely become a senator. Reports suggest that to elect senators unopposed, various parties in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are in talks. There's a possibility that elections will happen without contest. Now, another major and shocking news item was broken by respected senior journalist Zubair Ali Khan regarding a recent congressional hearing in the United States. He reported that not only are there questionable individuals in PTI here, but also in its international chapters. According to him, Sajjad Burki, who leads PTI's international chapter and may be its president, wrote an email to the US Congressional Human Rights Commission stating that Zulfi Bukhari, who was due to brief the committee, does not represent Imran Khan. He claimed that Imran Khan's family contacted him saying that Khan's sons would be the ones to meet and brief on his behalf. The implication was that Zulfi Bukhari lacks support from Imran Khan or his family, so his appearance shouldn't be taken seriously. This raises questions. Was this an effort to block or undermine the hearing? Zubair Ali Khan also said that the whole matter seems to have been orchestrated from Pakistan and that perhaps the establishment didn't want these issues discussed at the United States level. Messages were reportedly passed through Ali Amin to Sajjad Burki, prompting him to send the email. Although this didn't prevent the hearing, Zulfi Bukhari still attended and spoke. This move seems suspicious. Even if the intent was sincere and Khan's sons really wanted to speak for him, they should have done so transparently. Zulfi Bukhari could have been informed and included in the process. Why was this email kept secret? Why wasn't Bukhari looped in? Why weren't the other lead figures in the United States involved? The whole thing now appears quite questionable. It's baffling that while voices are trying to rise in defense of Imran Khan, some individuals seem intent on silencing them. Let the hearings take place. If Qasim Suleiman, Khan's son, appears later, let him speak too. There's no conflict there, so trying to obstruct this is very concerning. We'll see what explanation is given. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.